Eberechi Eze remains a primary target for Arsenal in this transfer window. Internal discussions are continuing at Arsenal over what their next steps are going to be, because the deal to bring in Eberechi Eze would require the triggering of a release clause. His release clause is £60 million plus £8 million in performance-related add-ons, which in total is £68 million. So if they were to meet that release clause, they can speak to Eze if Eze wanted to speak to Arsenal. However, if they want to negotiate on that release clause, then they would have to ask Crystal Palace for permission to speak to Eberechi Eze. Now, when you negotiate a release clause, some people immediately think it would mean trying to lower that value. Sometimes it can mean actually paying more than the release clause in return for favourable payment terms. But that is for down the line. At the moment, he remains a priority target for us.
Now with Eberechi Eze, where are we at with this one?
Yeah, look, first of all, Arsenal, yes, as you mentioned, busy in the market so far. 6 players already they've brought in. Victor Gyökeres, the latest of which joining the likes of Martin Zubimendi, Christian Norgard, Christian Mosquera, Kepa Arrizabalaga, Noni Madueke. Outgoing's probably going to be the focus, but there is still interest in Eberechi Eze of Crystal Palace. 27-year-old's got 2 years left of his contract. Has a release clause around £67 million. Now, Arsenal in talks with his representatives at this stage, so they've opened dialogue and they understand that the player is keen for the move. He would accept that move, but at the moment there's no claim
on Arsenal, because in the next 24 hours the release clause of Eberechi Eze will expire. So basically Arsenal from today on can't go pay the clause and get the player. It will take a negotiation with Crystal Palace. According to my sources, this negotiation club to club has not started yet. In the last 2 days someone said the negotiation started. I'm told that the negotiation club to club has not started yet. But sources at Crystal Palace expect Arsenal to arrive for Eberechi Eze. Why? Because Arsenal have been in contact for months now with the agents of Eze, because Eze is very appreciated by Arsenal, because Arsenal still want to add a player if they will have the opportunity to, and Eze is their favourite because they spoke to the player several times and the player is also very keen on the move. So Palace expect Arsenal to arrive. Let's see when, let's see how this conversation will go, let's see financially what they can do, but now the clause has 24 hours. Then the story is going to be over in the next hours, basically, for Eberechi Eze in terms of the release clause. It's going to be over for the clause, not for Arsenal, because Arsenal remain absolutely interested in
up-to-club contact at present. Arsenal's focus will be on players departing the club, and they're looking like the departure of Reece Nelson to Fulham. That looks like a potential another loan move, but I think Arsenal prefer that to be a permanent deal. Alexander Zinchenko, they're open to offers. Fabio Vieira as well, Albert Sambi, Lokonga. So there's plenty of players that probably need to leave the club first before Arsenal financially can make this deal work. But Eberechi Eze, I mean, for me, I love watching him play. I think he's got so much talent, creativity on that left-hand side, can float inside. I think he offers Arsenal a huge amount of versatility to their play, and the left-hand side of Arsenal's attack has been something they have been looking at improving in this transfer window. They have signed Noni Madueke. He's predominantly on the right, plays on the right side, back up to Saka maybe, can play on the left, but and Eze in that place is pretty exciting.
Oh my goodness,
fans. It really is.
Yeah, and Gyökeres to profit from all of that creative service, you would think. Yeah, so Arsenal already busy, they could get busy.
It's like you've never been away. Let's talk about whether
Don't tell me it's Liverpool.
Going to Arsenal. You said it. Could he be going to Arsenal, Jules?
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. There've been talks for a little while now. We know that Crystal Palace won around £60 million for Eze, which is the price. We said it all summer of those kind of wide players, although he's not really a wide player. He's more of a 10 that has been playing wide in the system that Oliver Glasner's played at Palace. But this is the kind of price that you would expect for somebody like him. So Spurs, who missed out on Morgan Gibbs-White, who stayed at Forest in the end, are also looking at somebody like Eze and that kind of profile. So it'd be very interesting to see. I think on one hand, he'd be happy to stay because there's Europe for him on the back of this incredible FA Cup campaign last year. And I think on the other hand, he feels it's the right time for him to go to something bigger, to Palace, where the club was great for him, obviously giving him his chance in the Premier League, but it's probably too big for them now. So it'd be very interesting to see the next, like Craig said, the next few days, to see if he's there when they play the competition at Wembley now in 10 days' time, or if he's nearing to a move somewhere.
And if Arsenal do this, Jules, would this be it would be a close shop? The money spent, they're all set for the season, or would they be looking to do anything if we got Eze late into the transfer window?
No, I think that would be. Then I guess they can respond to departures maybe, but right now the only other position that they're looking to sign somebody in is that kind of left side position, left winger, somebody like Eze. They like a bit of pace too, but they got that on the other side massively. So on the left-hand side, I think somebody like Eze is the kind of profile that they're really keen on.
You'd have to say though, wouldn't you? But, you know, Arsenal were a little bit off last year, but they're a good side. They're a good side. We know that. And looking at what they've done, looking at what Liverpool have done, I mean, it could be. I mean, if we're thinking, depending on how City resurrect themselves, and if Chelsea can continue with the sort of excitement that are surrounding them at the Club World Cup, which is going to be difficult, Liverpool and Arsenal look like two juggernauts in the Premier League.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
And this is the time for Eze to be going to a club like Arsenal, Stevie.
I think so. You know, I think he's served his apprenticeship. He's done his time. Now is the time where he and we need to find out if he can step up to one of the big boys and be able to produce it week in, week out, because it's expected when you play for an Arsenal or a Liverpool or a City or a Madrid or whatever it is right now. So he's proved to everybody that he's capable. Now he has to prove on the big stage that he can do it consistently, and there's no better place to go right now than Arsenal, and he would play. You know, Madueke's gone there. I don't think Madueke plays. I'm pretty sure they're not 100% sure on Martinelli. So if they sign Eze, I'm 100% certain Eze would start for them.
But and the other side to that is Martinelli is a bit hot and cold. Sometimes when he's hot, he looks great, and when he's a little bit off, his consistency level is not where it needs to be. And Trossard has done a great job, obviously, but Trossard always feels like he's a squad player, can play pretty much everywhere. What Eze does, and we've talked about this before, he's different. He's different to even Saka on the right side. He's different to Martinelli. He's different to Trossard. He's a wide player that looks to come infield quite a lot and get in that little pocket behind the midfield, and he can pick a pass and he can score a goal. We've seen him with some great goals from outside the box. We've seen him with some great deliveries, so he's different. He's not that pacey wide player. Saka's a wide player that takes people on. Martinelli's a wide player that takes people on. I would say Eze's a little bit different to that. He's a different type of player, and I think that's a good thing for Arsenal to have that mix, not to have, you know, replacing somebody with a bit of speed with somebody else with a bit of speed. It would be able to if things were not going to plan in a certain area or a certain game, you've got the ability to not only change personnel, but change the profile of the player that's coming on to